making enterprise, third-party platforms, transportation, enterprise, and other entries. Promote the integrated application of multi-source data, such as road infrastructure data, traffic flow data, and driving behavior data, and improve the levels of innovative service and active safety processing and control of intelligent vehicles. Another is data advanced equipment function service. This part is to support technical institutions to integrate and utilize data from science and technology, environmental protection, industry, and cameras, tax action, modelage, consumption, medical care, soils, instructions, ethical and real errors, water, electricity, and gas, and so on. Stress that entry interaction applies create business management and in service product design, as well as underwriting and camera settlement service in accordance with the law and improve the financial service level for the real economy. The other part is data advance, equipment, scientific and technological innovation. This part is to rely on values database, on value database and knowledge base, promote close description and cross-field collaborative innovation, use data to drive the discovery of new lawyers, creative new knowledge, and active the transformation of scientific research paradigms. This part is data advance, elegant chaotic choosing. This part is to promote the lawyer-based open sharing and trending qualities of data source, such as critical realize, article books, fan artists, open types intangible, critical hedge and ethical focus, support business entries in files such as critical and creative building and exhibition to strengthen data development and utilization, and creative products and branders with Chinese cloud translations. Another part is data advance and incorporation medical health. This part is also a hot research. Explore and promote the sharing of electronic medical record data and promote the utilization of data standards for inspection and test the results and multiple recognition among medical institutions. support medical installations to carry out the treatment first, payment later. Medical treatment based on created data. Explore and promote the integrated application of medical sciences and Cambridge health in Stafford State in accordance with laws and regulations, improve the level of in-service service, and promote the clinical development of basic medical in-source and Cambridge health in-source. Another is data advance and continuous management. This part is explore the use of data in electricity, communication, remote sensor, fire protection to achieve broad summation of high risk industrial mining and severely resuming production while ostensibly suspended and intelligent meeting of urban files utilize public data such as from oil towers, electronic city, and methodology to develop natural disaster situation, monitoring and assessment models, and strengthen the ability to actually predict and judge design risks. This part is state advance economical service. This part is to support the integrated application of data in economic sources, electronic development, natural resource, electrical and real areas with meteorological data, and realize a new intelligent decision making model that integrates climate change risk in identification, risk assessment, risk early warning, and risk transfer so as to prevent and resolve climate risks in key industry and sectors. This part is state advance and urban governance. This part is to promote the interaction of multi-dimensional data such as people, land, efforts, things, emotions, and organizations in the city. Support similar applications in various fields such as public health, traffic management, public safety, ecological environment, glass, rules, governance, and sports advance and realize real-time situation awareness, intelligent risk judgment, and timely coordinated disposal. This part is the data advance equipment green and low carbon. This part is to support the connection of carbon emission data of medicals, ancillary medicals, energy, and so on in the whole production cycle of key products as well as the industry carbon footprint data. Carry out the calculation and evaluation of product carbon footprint and guide entries to save energy and reduce carbon emissions. The second is the second part. After introduce the first part, the second part is what are the national level requirements? First, the requirement is to improve the data resource system in fields such as scientific research, career and transportation, promote scientific research in situation. Leading entries and to carry out the construction of industry, common data resource libraries, and create high-quality article intelligence large model training data setters. This is the first part. Second, guide enterprise to open update. Encourage market force to top the value of chimeric data and support the innovative application of source data position. The third is to strengthen supply incentives, formulate and improve the rules for promoting the rise and in the index of relevant entries in different links, such as data content collection, protection, creation, and application, and promote the rational use of personal information on the premise of protecting present privacy. The fourth is increase the supply of public data resource, organizing and carry out public data oriented operations in key files and relevant regions, and explore the public data authorization. The fifth is improve the standard system. This part is just the construction of standards for data collection, management, and so on, and jointly promote the formation of industry standards. These measures aim to build a more abundant, open, and standardized data supply environment to support the effective application of data elements in various files, thereby promoting the high-quality development of the economy and society. The second part is optimization the data circulation environment. The first is improve the efficiency of transportation circulation. Support enterprise in the industry to jointly formulate data circulation rules and standards.
龚老师，不好意思啊，
A
麻烦打断您一下，龚老师，那
A
个
A，
就是我
你好，
们国外的学生反馈，就是他们听不太清，就是看实在不行就是您这边说中文，然后我们有同传嘛，让同传说英文吧，您看怎么样吗？
然后主要是
可以，可以，可以，可以。
那行，那就麻烦您说中文嘛，我跟那个同传的彭老师，彭老师，麻烦您这边继续翻译一下，好吧？Okay,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen, and we have an interpreter, and
我们从哪里开始
our
呢？
Mr. Gong will speak Chinese, and please turn to the English channel, and we have an interpreter there. Okay, thank you all.
OK OK，那我就从简要
你就从这
我们刚才
继续讲嘛，你就从第二方面这儿
继续讲哈，
继续讲嘛。
我们现
哎，
在已经
好的，
讲到了第二部分的国家层面的需求。刚才我们
嗯
首先讲的是第一部分数据要素的应用场景，第二部分我们在讲国家层面对数据要素的一些需求，战略需求是什么？刚才讲到战略需求的第二方面是
呃
优化
呃
数据的流通环境。
龚老师，您稍等一下，那个我们同传的老师还没那个反应过来，我跟他沟通一下，麻烦
啊
您等1分钟，好吧？
好的，没
Okay,
问题。
okay,
好的。
everyone, and our interpreter is not in the channel, and maybe we wait him for 1 second, for 1 minute. Okay, thank you.
OK OK。现在是 PPT 的，想一下，第二部分，我退出一下看一下哈，这应该是第15页。嗯，要不我就从第二部分15页这里开始讲吧。好的，同学们，我们刚才讲到了
So
前面第一
now
大部分是讲数
we
据
just
要素的应
finished
用
the
场
first
景，数
part
据要素是如何
about
赋
the
能
data
经济高
elements
质量发展的。
and
那么
how
现在
they
我们
serve
讲第二部分，就是我
the
们国
highest
家
growth of our
在
economy.
要发展数字经济，我
And
们国家
second
的层
part
面，我
will
们
be talking
它的
about
需求是什么？国
and
家层面
what
的一些
are the
需求。
national needs regarding data
首先，我们
elements.
看到国家层面的需求，第一个方面是要提
So
升数
first
据的供给水平。
is about
提
the
升数据的供
level
给水
of
平，包
data
括的
supply.
是我们要去
It
完善
includes
数据资源体
so we
系，
need to
加
improve
大公共数据资源的供给，
improve the
引导企
investments
业去
in
开
fields
放
such as
数据，
scientific
健
research,
全
culture,
标准体系，
transportation, and promote
加强
scientific
供给
research
激励。
institutions, and leading enterprises
说
and
到
so
是
on
往
to
好的
carry
方
out
向，我们方
construction of
面去
industry
提升我
common
们的
data
供给
resources
水平。
libraries
第一
and
个部
create
分
high
是
quality
去完善
artificial
数据
intelligence
资源体系，
and
这
large
部分
model
呢包
training
含
data
了
sets
在
and
科
so
研、
on.
文化、交通运输等领域，去推动科研机构、龙头企业等开展行业共性数据资源库的一个建设，打造高
So
质
that's
量的
the
人力
first
资源、
part.
大模型训练数据集。我们知道现在的人工智
So
能，
we
尤其
know
是生成式人
the
工智能
AI
AI、
field.
AIGC、生成式人工智
For
能技术，
example,
那包括
AIGC
现在
and
的
the
基础
generative
设施，
AI.
它都是需要我们高质量
So
的
they
一
lead
个数据来进行
they
训练。
lead the feeding of
第二
high
部分是
quality
引导企
data.
业开
And
放市
second
场，
part
鼓励
is
市
to
场力量
encourage
去挖掘
the
商业附
enterprises
加
to
值，
open
支
up their
持社
data
会数据
and
融合创新应用。因为
encourage
我们大
market
家知道，
forces
我
to
们
tap the
社会
value
其
of
实是每
commercial
时每
data
刻
and
在互
support
联
the
网时代，
innovative
每个人的
application
数
for the
据都是一
social
个大规模的竞
data
争。
fusion.
数据
As we know,
用处在
data
很
has
多的企
been
业的手上，
increasing
但是很多的
on
企
the
业这个数据是
daily
会遇到了
basis,
企
and
业的
new
一些
data
秘密的
emerge
一
all
些
the
商业
time.
数据，它肯定是不
But
愿意开
many
放的。
data has
那如何去
relations
让
with
企业
enterprises
承诺
regarding its market
开放
operation.
它自己的数据
And
呢？
the
这里面
market players,
涉
they
及到
are
的一
very
个核心
hesitant
的
to
问题
open
是
their
哪来
data
的
to the general
数据
republic.
的一个安全问题。如
So
果
they
说
maybe they are
数据得
concerning
到
about
安全的
data
保障，
safety.
那
So
企
once
业
we
只
can
要
make
用
sure
一
that
定的
data
激
are
励方式
safe
的话，企业
and
的数据还
give
是
enterprises
还是能够激励
inventives
企业把自己的
so
数据
that
进行
they
开
may
放。
be able
第
to
三部分
share the
是加强
data.
供给的一
And
个激励，
thirdly,
去
to
具体做的是
strengthen
制
the
定
supply
完善数据
incentives to be concrete, to formulate and improve the rules for protecting the rights and interests of relevant enterprises in different links, such as data content collection, processing, circulation, and application, and so on. And recently, we have issued the cyberspace construction. It has been divided about element and data regarding enterprises and private data. So the data space is a difficult part for opening to the general public because it includes a lot of sensitive data relating to individuals. So a lot of personal privacy is involved. So in general, this is a tricky problem for any entities involved. And fourth part is to increase the supply of public data resources, organize and carry out public data authorized operations in key fields and relevant regions, and to explore the public data authorization mechanism coordinated by ministries, various ministries in Chinese government and the provinces levels. So, for example, in a lot of hospitals, so also in the medical authorizations and data from financial sector. So this data, we will generally summarize that data from those organizations. They are high quality. So we need to carry out the authorization in such fields. And fifth, to improve the standard system, to strengthen the construction and standards for data, including the process of collecting, management, and so on, and jointly promote the formulation of such data use, including a lot of industries. We have issued a lot of special laws and regulations regarding the protection of privacy. These measures are taken to regulate the data in a more standard and professional way. A lot of standards are to be made into law to protect the development of this data industry. So all these measures with the same purpose to create a healthier environment to support the data elements being used in a lot of fields in the life and production of our society. So data can be used in a lot of industries, for example, scientific research, agriculture, industrials, and so on. So the second part, how to utilize the transaction environment for data elements. So what we can do in this regard, first one is to improve the efficiency of transaction circulation, to support enterprises in the industry to jointly formulate data circulation rules and standards, promote the compliant circulation of data, and the efficiency of data application among multiple enterprises. So they have a saying that data is a petroleum of the 21st century. So how do we define the value of data, or in other terms, so how data plays their value in our current age? So can anyone share your experience in this understanding of the value of data? So how data can prove themselves to be valuable in our age? Anyone would like to be answering or sharing his or her experience in this regard?
有同学知道这个问题的答案吗？可以一起讨论一下。
Maybe we can discuss it together.
如果大家能够把这个问题想清楚的话，那刚才讲到的国家层
So
面
if
的
you can
3个
think it
方面的需
through
求，
about this problem, maybe you will have a better understanding of the leads from the state of level regarding data elements.
我看一下大家的回答哈。OK，问题的答案的话，
So
大家
the
去想
answer
一
to
下，
this
我们数据
question,
是如何发挥
maybe
价
you
值的。
can have a
大家
thought
想一
about
下，
it.
等同于
The
另外一
value
个
of
问题。
data.
我
So
们
it's
每个国
equivalent
家
to
都
another
有
problem.
发
Question.
行发行什么呢？
So each
发
country
行我们
in the
的
world,
货币，
they
我
will
们的货
issue
币
their
是
own
如何发挥
currency.
价值的呢？
So how
它
does a
首先要
currency
流动
play
性，
its
它才
roles
能发
in
挥出
each
它的价值。
country?
而我们的
Only
数据
by
它想
circulating
发
them
挥
in
它
the
的价值，
market. In
它
the
也要流动。
then
而
they
我
have
们这
the
里的
real
价值
value.
流通，
Likewise,
只有让
so
数据
circulation for
流通起
data
来，
is
才能够
very
发挥出
important
数据的价值。而数据
in
流通
displaying their real
这
value.
个数据的来源是哪里呢？
So
数
what's
据
the
要流
source
通的
of
话，
data?
那它有一个前提，是什么
So
前
there's
提
a
呢？
premise
就是
of
要有
its circulation.
数据的供给。而数据的供给
So we are
有
talking
的
about the
行
supply of
业、
data.
企业，
This usually comes from our
是包
industries
括行业数据、
and
企业数据
individuals
以
and
及
so
个人
on.
数据。
So data in this sense can be divided into data for
数据
business
供给
and data
方
for
他们
private
愿不
use.
愿意把自己的数据给
So
公
think
诸
about
出来
it.
呢？
Do you think those
这个
enterprises
一系
they
列
will
技
be
术标
willing
准和法
to
律法规
open
规范，
up their
而且需要一些机制
data
来激励
to
他们把
third
自己的数
parties?
据供给，对吧？
So the states they need to use
我们也有
incentives
一个
to
非常好的例
encourage
子，
enterprises
数
to
据
share their
来源
data.
方，比方是你现在
For
的话
example,
可
the
以把
source
自己
of
的
the
数据
data.
开放出来吗？
So
如果
if
你
you
收
are
到
the
你会有
business
有
owner,
的地
would
方
you
是哪
like
些
to
数据
sharing
的？
your
你首先会想到第一
data
个顾虑，
regarding your
就是
industry?
你的数据
Maybe you have a
开
lot
放
of
以后，
concerns.
你会担心你
So
数据
you'll
里面的
be
隐私信
concerning
息
that
就暴露出
maybe
来
a lot of
大家知
privacy
道
or
在各个
secrets
网站里
about
面，
your
你的
trade
隐
will
私信息
be
暴露，
publicized.
你肯定有很多隐私信息是不愿意别人
So
知道的。
maybe
比
you
方说
worry that a lot of
你
information
是
that
得了某一
has
种疾
been
病，对吧？你
opened
肯定不愿意别人知道你是患了某种疾病
and
的，这
you
是属于你自
you
主
don't like
你不
those
想让别人知
information
道这个
that's
隐私信
very
息，
personal
对吧？
information to
而
be
这个隐私
public
信息你是不愿意
published
让别人
or
知道
those
的，
trading secrets about
所以
your
你会担心
company
这个
has
问题。
been published.
所以呢，
And no
你
one
就
would
首
like
先
to
对的第
share
一个方
their
就是
very
你有
personal
了数据以
information
后，
with
你
others.
的数据能不能够得到保障，能不
So
能得到
your
安全保
major
障，
concern is that whether
对吧？
your
这是你首先去想
data
到的第一个问
that
题，
you have been shared
你的
with
数
the
据
rest
安全能不能得
can
到
be
保障？第
protected
二个问
properly.
题就
And
是你会想
secondly,
到的顾虑是什么呢？
maybe your
你肯
concern
定
will
不会
be
说无缘无故的就把你的数据供给出去，
so
你
you
肯定
will not be
是
willing
需
to
要你把你自己的数据
share
供
your
给出去以
data
后，你肯定是
for no
希
reason.
望得到一些
So
激励，
maybe
得
you
到一些
think
奖励，
you can
对吧？
get some
所以我们这
incentive
里面会讲到一个激励措施，
incentives
不管是
regarding
对于
financial
企业、行业还是
standing.
个人
You
数据，
can get
都需要有一个激
some
励措施。就是
payment
你把自己的数据
as a
供给
trade.
出去以后呢，就是能不能够得到一些奖励呢？对吧？最主要的就是这两个问题，
So
在数
most
据流通过程
importantly,
当中，这是
so in
面临
the
两个
circulation
非
of
常核心
data,
的问题。
these are the
所以我
most
们要去
two
优化
important
这样的一个
concerns
数据的一个流通
facing all
环境。
the enterprises
所以大家就
players.
会想到，优化这个数据流通环境，
So to utilize the
才能够
environment
去
of
让
data
数据
circulation
安全
so that
地
we
流
can
通起
make
来。数据
ensure
安全的流通
the
起来以后，
data can be
它才能够
circulated
发挥出
in
数
a
据的
secure
价值。
way and also
发挥出数据的价值
display
指的是什么
is
呢？数
core
据在
value.
各个的在非常广泛的各个应用场景当中， 去发挥出它的价
So
值。
the value of this data usually they can only be displayed
首先
in
我们要去
particular industries.
提高交易的流通效率。
So firstly, we need to improve the efficiency of transactions circulation,
联合自己
including
数据流通的规则
the
标准，
standards and protocols of such data transforming and circulating, and improve its efficiency, and also encourage trading venues to strengthen
服务质量
their management level and
流
innovate
通的一个服务主体，
service levels.
鼓励地方政府
And secondly,
政
we
府也去参与。
encourage
我们会讲
a
到
local
3部分的时候会
government
讲到 整
to
个数据要素的应用场景，包括非
better
常
utilize those data.
有我们的政府主体、行业主体、企业
So
主
we
体，
have a lot of entities
包括非常多的实体来参
in
与。
regard
培育
the
好
circulation of
这些
data, for
主体
example,
现在
local
也是需要
government
我们地方政
enterprises.
府去参与的。所以我们
So
地方
the
政
local
府
government is a
包括
very
国家
important
成立了国
player.
家数据局，地方政府
So
成立
in
了
China, we
国家
have
成
the
立了数据
data
局、大数据
bureau
管
at
理
the state
相关
level,
的单
and
位。
also we have
所以
local
地方
level
政府
data related
通过
authorities.
新建或者是拓展既有园区功能的方式，建设数据特色园区、
So we
虚拟园
encourage
区，
local governments to adjust measurements
以及推
to
数据厂商、第
local
三方专
conditions
业的
and
服务
build
机构
data
协
featured
同发展，
industrial
完善
parks
培育数据商的支持举
by
措，
means of newly building or
今天
expanding the
数据商是什
existing
么呢？
functions
专
of
门指
those
的是一
industrial
些
parks
数据的一些
and to
的
promote
一
the
些承包。
coordinated development of data
第三部
merchants,
分
third-party
包括
professional
打造
service
安
institutions,
可
and
信的一个流通环境。
improve
这里面主
support
要指的是一
measures
些
of
技术，
cultivating data
尤其是现在
trading.
非常研究的热点，
And
包括我
thirdly,
们的隐私
we
计
need to
算
build
技
up
术，
a safe
第二
and
开发数据
trustworthy
空间、隐私计算、
circulation
人脑
environment
学
for
习、区块
data.
链、数据沙箱等技术的应
So,
用，
for example, we need to
探索
deepen
建
the
设
application
有
of
点行
technology
业
such
和
as data
区域
space,
数据流通平
privacy,
台。 我
computing,
们的数据要
federated
得到保障
learning,
的话，要做
blockchain,
什么呢？
data sandbox,
首先
and
我们的技术
explore the
方面，
construction
行
of
业
data circulation
要跟进。
platforms in
我们
key
技术
industries and
方
fields,
面主要是包括
and also
现在
to
有
enhance the
隐私计算
trustworthiness,
啊，技术也帮助我们
controllability, and the
优点类
measurability
也是
of
属于
data
我们的隐私计
utilization,
算。隐私计算主
and
要后面我
promote
们会详细
the
讲到，
compliant and
主要包括
efficient
情报学习
circulation of
然
data.
后同态加密，然后机密计算、T1以及英特尔的 T1安全沙
So
箱
these
等
measures
这
also
些硬
include
件的一些
TEE
安全技术，
technology, software
还
and
包括我们
hardware
增进数据流动
techniques
的一些
to
可
help
信、可
ensure
控、
the safe
可计量的
circulation
能
of
力。
data.
我们的隐私计算，我们的数据泄露量需要
So
可
this
量化。我们
is
的
something
技
about
术叫差分隐私技术，
the
就
data
专门是研究这个方向的啊，促进数据合规的一个高效流通使用。第四部分，促
and
进
fourthly
数
promote
据有序跨境流动，
the
对标
cross-border
国际
flow of
高标
data.
准经贸规则，
So
持
in this
续优
regard, we
化数
need
据
to
跨境流动
raise
监
our
管程序，
standards to
支持自由贸易以及
comply with the
区开放探索，
international
促进
standards
数据的一
and
个
to
国际流
support
通，
free trade
目
pioneer zones
前数据的跨境
building.
流动， 数
Currently,
据的国
the
际流通
the
是
flow
一个
of
非常
data
大的一个
globally
问题，需要我
is a
们
big issue.
各个国家携起手
We
来，
lead
共同建立我们
joint
的联
efforts
盟
made by various
如果我们
countries
各个国
in the
家
world.
让世界人民团结起来，
So what if
世界人民都团结起来，
all
才
the
能够做
countries
到
work
这一点，
together
才能
in a
够
more
让数
efficient
据
way
在国际之间流
so
通起来，
that data
促进数据的
circulation
有序跨境流动。
can turn out to be
这些措
really
施都旨在
valuable
构建一个更加开放、
to
安
build
全、
in a
高效的流通环境，
more
以
open
支持
and
数据要素在各个领
prosperous
域的有效应用，
international
从
community.
而推动经济社会的高质
So
量
in
发展。
this way, we can promote
刚才讲
the
的
economy
刚才讲的是国家层面需求的第二部分，现在我们介绍第三部分，指的是加强数据安全的保障。
And now let's move to the next part.
这一部分
That
更
is
多的
to
是我们
strengthen the
的一
data
些
security
技术
protection.
保障以及
So this
信息
is more
安全
about
标
the
准和法
technology
规，
that
以及
we
信息安全标
have
准、一
used
些法律法
to
规来保
ensure
证
the
我们的
safety
数
of
据
the
安全。
data And it can be further divided into 9 sections. First, we need to implement data security laws and regulations, and including improving the data classification and grading protection system, and implement systems such as network security protection and critical information infrastructure security protection, and also to strengthen personal information. So, for example, in China, we have laws and regulations. Especially since the year of 2016, we have set up the cybersecurity safety laws, and in later we have the relevant laws regarding the passwords and personal information. And in this year, we have newly launched the law regarding the network management and the regulation. So these laws and regulations has been the foundation of the circulation of data. And secondly, we need to enrich data security products metrics and to develop refined and professional data security products for key industries and key areas, to develop solutions and toolkits suitable for small and medium size enterprises, and support development of customized and lightweight personal data security protection products, and so on. So currently, we don't have many products on the market regarding data security. We have saying that security is like the air for humans. So for data, security is as important as air to humans. So without security, so enterprises related to data industry, a lot of unpredicted results can be predicted. So how do we enrich the supply of security products? This leads joint efforts made by the international community. And thirdly, it's about to cultivate data security services. We are encouraging data security enterprises to carry out cloud-based security services to efficiently improve the data security level. For example, the privacy computing and the federated learning and secured servers and processes, and also crypto computing and so on. And we need to improve our investment in the data security and the skills training. In this regard, our country, we have Cybersecurity Week per year. So this year it falls in September. So this Cybersecurity Week is aimed at improving the awareness of the general public regarding cybersecurity and data safety. So with this effort, the general public, their awareness about the personal information protection will be enhanced. We have made a lot of investment in this regard. And next one is to establish data security emergency response mechanism. So to establish and improve the emergency response and the handling process for data security incidents. These measures are taken to ensure the rapid and effective response in the event of possible security incidents. Cybersecurity, so it's like a battlefield. So how to build up a system to respond to hacker attack and the malicious attack softwares and applications. And next is how to promote the data security technology innovation and to support and encourage the research, development, and innovation of data security technologies. So the hot point in this field is AI and blockchain in data security. So the development of AI is developing very rapidly. We know ChatGPT, and we also have similar products issued by Chinese domestic enterprises like Baidu. So in this regard, we need high quality data set to train the model. And how would we ensure the safety of these data sets in such big models? This is a very important issue shared by the international community. So the risk of data leaking and so on is a common problem facing us. And next one is to strengthen the data security supervision and audit. We need to ensure the data processing activities and related activities are in accordance with laws and regulations of each country. So we have so many different types of data. For example, data for enterprises, personal data. So a lot of these service provider, for example, the cloud storage service provider. How do we ensure the safety of this data and also the confidentiality and integrity of this data? So when our data is stored on cloud, so maybe we think that they are very vulnerable to be leaked either by the service provider or third parties. As we can see, currently, a lot of incidents regarding data leaking or data loss has been witnessed globally. So those cloud service providers on a regular basis, they need to clear those data. For example, data that has been stored there for a long time, but no actual output or operations has been done with that data. So how do we ensure those data stored in those clouding platforms, they are integrated? So this is a hot topic. Again, the integrity of data and how do we carry out data auditing? We have a series of technologies. For example, we use cryptology technologies to realize the safety of data.
能够确保数据的处理活动去符合我们的一个法律法规的要求。第8点，促进国际合作与交流。
To promote international cooperation and exchanges in the field of data. And also, we need to focus on the formulation and the mutual recognition of data security standards from different countries to ensure that we can strengthen the translational data security campaigns. This requires joint efforts made by the international community members. So this is a necessary cooperation to circulate data in the world and utilize to maximize the value of data. And lastly, to establish a data security assessment and certification system. So the system we need to determine whether the data we have on hand are up to the security standards. So we have a series of amendments regarding data. For example, we use this cryptology measures. So those data, after being processed, are they up to the security standards?
能不能达到一个数据安全合规的标准，是需要我们
This requires
去建立一套标准
that we need to build a system for technology
这样才能够让这个技术更好的去
so
应用
that this data can be used in a better way.
去构建一个更加安全
With these technologies, the aim is to build up a safe environment for the data
泄露
to be accessed, to be circulated, and further processed.
大家知道现在我们很多
As you know,
小到个人数据
nowadays a lot of data from individual, from enterprises, or even national security.
地理地貌的
For example, the information about geographic features of a country, for example, data from public transportation, and this already have something to do with national security.
安全的数据环境
So how do we build up a safe environment for data?
值得我们重视的
So this is an issue that's worthy of your attention. So now let's move to the third part.
第三部分
So the third part.
讲完了前面的两部分，第一部分
So after the first two
应
parts,
用场景
so the scenarios for data application,
国家层面的
and
需
part
求
two, the national needs regarding
可以
data,
在这个过程当
and
中
thirdly,
去做一些什么呢？
so what
我们常常听到一
what
句
kind
话
of roles we can play for
作为国
ourselves
家的
in
一
this
份子
regard. So as a member of a country,
应该将自己的事业
so we
追求
need
国
to
家民族的命运紧紧捆绑在一起。
actively to combine our personal career into the big picture of your country's economic development. So in facing the strategic leads in data,
浪潮当中
so
去做
what
点什么呢？
does an individual can do?
大家首先看到这张图，
So please first look at this picture.
这是一个非常非常火的图啊。
So this picture is
这个图呢
is
讲的
being
是
discussed actively on the internet.
现在目前出现的一些非常非常热的一些词汇。
So these are some of the keywords
大家看
in
到
this
最
regards.
热的一
For
个词汇
example,
是什么呀？是隐私计算。
so the most outstanding keyword is
隐私计算后面
privacy
我们会讲到，主要
computing.
是包含
So in this
这个方面的
regard,
一些技术。
we will
隐私计算的
further
定义是什么呢？
elaborate
是
what's the
一
definition
系
of
列的
private
为了
privacy
在这个过程当中
computing.
保护数据
So this is
全生
all
命周
the
期安全的一系列的计
a
算的
series
理论
of
与方法，
computing theory
保护数据
and
全生命周期安全。
measures to
这是关键词。
ensure the
那在数据
data
的全生命，大
safety
家知道，数据包含数据的
regarding the whole life circle of a data.
数据的处
So
理、
it includes
数据
the
的使
data
用、数据的
collecting
存储、
and the
数据的
use
流通
of
各个
data
环
and
节如何去
circulating
保
of
障它的
data.
安全性
and its storage. So how do we ensure the security and privacy of data? So this is a new technology. The concept was coined by Mr. Li Fenghua from the Chinese Scientific Academy. And the second keyword is being called security. So speaking of security, so it's not safety, but rather security. Do you know the reason? So security means the safety in a lot of industries. So we have a new term in this regard. It's called cyberspace security.
不再是局限于某一个学科方面的问题。现在的很多的
So our research and
它是跟很多学科
discussion
都是密切
is
相关的。
multidisciplinary.
我们现在的学科
For example,
我们现在新发展出来的最新的学科叫网络
so
空
we
间
have some of the
安全
newest
它就是一
subject
个交叉学科。
is called cybersecurity,
所以在网络空间安全当中的问题，它也是一个
cyberspace
交叉
security, sorry. So
跟
this
很多学科
subject
都是密切相关的。
is
跟哪些学科密切
again
相关呢？一般来
has
说，
is related to a lot of other subjects. For example, computer science and
信息通
technology,
信理论、
information
学技术、
and
数学、
telecommunication,
物理、
mathematics,
教育
physics,
学、法学
education,
等等这些学科
laws,
都会有所
and
涉
so
及。
on.
所以我们要解
So
决
to
网络
to
空间安全
solve problems in cyberspace security,
往往是需要
usually
多个学科共同发
we
力来
lead
解决的。
joint
它有点，它是
efforts made by
巨细
experts from different
大家
fields.
可以把它看成是一个系统问题，是一个巨系统
You
问题
can
复杂的
interpret it
巨系
as a system problem.
第三个热词是信息
And
安全
the third keyword is
Information security
information
信息安全
security.
更多的指的是我们的一
So
些
it refers more
信
to
息这个词以前是叫信息安全，现在我们把
so
它叫数据安全
information, and now we have changed the name to data security.
现在我们更多的有个词把它叫数据安全，因为数据
Because
可能更贴切一
data
点。现在很多的应用其实是
is
都是
more
以
is a
数据
better
为核心
term
来
to
展开的
describe
包
the
括我们
reality.
现在最新发布的可
Because
信
a lot of information are carried in the form of data.
数据要素的使用场景，
So
数
the
字经济的发展
typical
都是以数据
scenarios
为
for
核心来
data
展开的。
is
所以信息安全的问题也可以
is
看成
based
是数据
on
安
the
全的
concept of data. So we can just
不
we
管是
can
信息安全也好，还是数据安
change
全也
the
好，
this
它
keyword
的
from
核
information
心技术
security
是什么
to
呢？
data
核
security.
心
What's
技
the
术是我们的密码
the
技术，
nuclear technology
需要我们的密码
lies
技术
in
来保障
cryptology
我们的信息安全。
technologies. We use relevant
这是第三个
cryptology
后面
technologies
的
to build up
大家可以看
our
到左上角
security
叫
fence.
数据共享。
So the next keyword is about
数据
data
共享
sharing.
涉及到的应用场景也比较多。
So the
有很多
scenarios
的应用
related
场
to
景
this
就是
term
以
is
家庭为单位，
is
家庭成员把
so the
各个成员
data
家庭各个成
sharing
员把
between
这些
family
数据
members.
如何共享呢？
How do they
一般情
share
况下，
those
家庭
data
成员会把
among
这些
family
数据
members?
都上传到云端。
Usually you
那
upload
上传到
such
云端以
data
后，
into
这里
the
面就会
clouds.
如果数
So
据存储在本地，不会
so there's a problem.
而一旦
So if
把数
data
据
is
存储到
stored
云端，
locally,
会造成数据的
there's no
所有
problem.
权和数据的
But
管
once
理
such
权
data is
是分离
uploaded
的。
to the
数据的
cloud,
所有权
then we
是
have
属
another
于用
problem,
户的，
the
用户
ownership
自己。而
of
数据的
this
管理
data
权这个时候
and
已经
the
交
right to
给
manage of
云
this
服务
data
提供商。
now is handed over
这所有
to
权和
the
管理权
service
分离以
provider.
后，它就
So
会产
once
生
the
很多的
ownership rights
安全
and
问题。
the rights of use are separated.
产生一系列的数据安全跟隐私保护问题。
So a lot of problems will rise. For example,
存储在云端以后
data
如何保障数据的完整性
storage
也就是
in the
说
cloud. How do we
数据
ensure
是否
the
支持
integrity?
完完整整的存
How
储
do
在
we
云端
ensure
没有
the
被
data
故
is
意
in
抹
one
伤
piece
擅自删除
rather than being
如
tempered
何
by
如
the
何保
service
障
provider?
第二个方面
And secondly,
数据存储在云端需要跟
so such data
本地的客户端进行交互
the data will
我
need
经
to
常
be
常
communicated
会面
with
临一个问题就是数据
the
的访问模式
terminals
泄露
locally. So the
在这个
second
过程当
issue
中
is
数据访问模
data
式泄露
leak.
如何用我们的密码技术
So how could we use
大家可以去思考一
cryptology-related
下
technologies to protect the data
数据的可
security?
信三重问题
And the next
刚才我们讲到一个
term,
应用场景以家庭各个成员
so the
把
scenario
数
we
据
just mentioned, the
存储在
family
云端
family data
这里
sharing
面会涉及
in
到很
the
多重
cloud
复的数据
platform.
为什么呢
So there
因
will
为大家在
a lot of
创造
information or data
数据以
redundancy
后
will
对
appear.
数据进行更新
So if
有
you
数据
use
上
the
传
data
这里面
and
会产生非常多的重复
update
数
the
据
data, there
那这个
will
重
be
复数据
generating a lot
进
of
行删除的话
repetitive
那就
data.
会无形的增
So
加
if we
我
do
们的
not
负担
delete
因
the
为你
such
在云端的
repetitive
数据空
data,
间就会需要的空
so
间会更大
we need more
云服务供应
space
商
to
会向
store
大家
such
收更
data
昂贵的费用
because such
这个时候就需
storage
要把
need to
重
be
复的数
paid.
据进行删除
So what
那如何
a future application
如
is
何
that we
让
need
云服
to
务提供商
use technologies
帮你
or applications to
把
help
重复
you
的数据进行删
to
除
delete
所以
such
这个方向叫
competitive
数
data.
据的可信三重
So this
这
is
里面
called
也需
the
要用到我们
trusted
一系列的密码技术
data
去进行保障
and
这里面只
deleting
是我
repetitive
提出来
data
的三个
method.
方面的
So these are the three
问题
aspects
这三个方面的
regarding data sharing.
当然远远不止这三个方面的问题
So
还有非
actually
常
we
非
have
常多
more
的安全问题我们刚才讲了
thinkings
这
in
一
these
系列的安
regards.
全问题都是由什
So
么产生的
this
呢都是由于
series
我
of
们现在把数
issues
据
related to data
存储到
security,
云端以后
most
有
of
可能
them
存储到云
arise
端以后
or
会导致数据
appear
的
because
所
we
有
put
权
the
与管理
data
权
in the
相
cloud.
分离所以呢
And
它
also
就
the
会
ownership
导
rights
致
and
我刚才讲的这三个问题甚至
the
更多的问题
user rights are separated.
而要解决这些问题它的
To
核
solve
心
these
技术
problems,
都是我们的
the
密码技术
nuclear
需要用到我们的密码技术去
technology
解决
is cryptology
这是
technologies.
谈到数据共享问题
So this is
还包括隐私保
since
护
I would like
技
to
术
share
隐
about
私保护
data
这
sharing
里再可以给大家
and
大家发散思维去思
what's
考一
more
下
about
刚才我讲到一个
the
叫数据
privacy
的安全
protection.
与
So
隐
as
私
I
保护
mentioned, the security
这
of
就告
data
诉大
and the
家是
privacy.
什么呢数据的安全性
So the
和
security
数
and
据
the
的隐私保
privacy
护
of data,
并不是同一个概念
they are
数据
two
的安
different
全性跟数据的隐私
concepts.
保护完全是两回事完全是两个不同的概念啊有兴趣的同学
If
认
you
真
have
思考一
interest,
下
maybe
数
you
据的
can
安全性指的是什么
think
数据的
about
隐
it.
私保护指的是什
What
么
is
两者之间的区别是什么
security and the privacy of data?
再讲到中间这个地方叫数据的合规刚才我们在讲到第二部分国家层面的战略需求的时候我们重点讲了一下数据的合规数据的合规指的是什么呀就是我们数据经过
Next
敏感
keyword
我们
is
用户
data
企业
compliance.
政务数据经过脱敏数据脱敏以后就一定安全了吗就一
So
定不会泄
after
露
the
隐私
data
了
has
吗
been
并不是这样的我们数据敏感数据经过脱
de-identification
敏了以后
treatment,
如何
do you
就知
think
道
such
你这个
data
数据
after this process
就是符
they
合
are
就是合规的
secure
呢
or are they in
所以数
accordance
据的
with
合规是需要
relevant
一
national
系列的
laws and
技术标
regulations
准
in this
和法律
regard?
法规来进行保障的包括我们
We
说到的
lead
数据
laws
这
to
个本身隐私
ensure
保护
the security of such data. So we have a lot of data, especially those newly released data.
来进行一个方面的保障的，还包括我们的政务啊，这里面
For example, data in the field of
包
e-governance.
括什么呀？零知识证明，零知
And
识证
also
明
we
这是
have
什么呢
other keywords.
两方之间要证明他含有某把钥匙，比方说，但是他又不想告诉对方，不想让对方看见他有这个钥匙。
So for example, two parties of the same network, they both hold a key and but they don't want the other party to know they have the key. So another keyword is ownership of data.
合成数据，我们现在讲到的有一个非常火的一个研究方向叫数据的隐私求交啊，数据的合成如何去保障它的
So
安
the
全？
creation of data, especially those artificial
当然，这里面还包括一些热
artificialized
词，包括我们的
data, and also we have some other
量子计
keywords.
算、
For example, quantum
元宇宙
computing and
全动态加密、可信数据的协作啊，联邦学习、
federated learning, supply chain,
这
and
些都是我
data
们
trading
现在
center.
研究的一些关键热词。
So all these are very hot topics.
下面我们可以看一下，整个为了保护我们
Now
数据要素流通的安全，采用的是隐私计算技术。我们可以看一下整个隐私计算的一个图谱。
let's
隐
look
私计
at
算的图谱
the mapping of privacy computing.
它需要我们非常多的参与方实体来参与。
So it involves a lot of
我
parties.
们的政府端，
For
政
example,
府
the
端
government
在我们
agencies.
国家有国家税务
So
总局
in China, we have
中华人民
the
共和国公安部
taxation
以及
bureau
我们的
and the public
数据
security
交易所
bureau
我
and
们的国
data
家数据局以及地方
trading
政府成
center
立的数据局，
and the data bureaus
密码
established at the state level or
网信
local
办
level
啊等
and
这些
bureau of
都是我们的政
cryptology.
策为我们的
So
数据要素
these are
数字经
the
济的发展来进行一个保
institutes
障。
established to protect data
数据
privacy.
交易所现在我们国家已经成
And
立
the
了
data
贵阳
trading
大数据交易所、北京国际
trading
大数据
center
交易
we
所，
have in Guiyang,
这是
in
作为
Datong,
我们国家
and
还有
some
包括
other
上海
cities
大
in
数据交
China,
易所。
especially in Shanghai.
我们目前已经实实在在的已经开始
So now we have
进行
already
数据
began the
交易，
process of
发挥数据要素的价值。
the process of
数据要
data
素
trading.
被称
So
为
data
第
elements
五
are
大
being
生产要
called
素。
the fifth most
所以
important
说，
production elements
数据是
nowadays.
第五大生产要素。所以说，数据
Therefore,
非常非常大的
there is a huge
价值。
value and potential.
它是类似于，它可以把它看成是我们
We
的生
can
产
interpret
资
it
料。
as one of the newest
第三个部分
discovered
是我们的金融技术，各个银行
production elements or raw materials.
以及我们的
So
证券
another
证券
category
交易
of
所等等，
practitioners
都是我们
involving
的
the
金融方。
industries. For
我
example,
们的金
the
融数据实际
banking,
上是非常高质
insurance.
量的一类数据。金融数据开放是最
So
是
the
率先
financial
行的，
data are believed to be the most reliable data,
包括我们的区块
high
链
quality
也
data.
首先是在
For
我
example,
们
the
的金融
blockchain,
方面
the technology of blockchain has
第三
been first
另外一部分
applied
是
in the
通信
field of
通
finance
信的话，我们
and
现在
banking.
我们国家
And
有
also
四
we
大
have
通信运营商，
communication
包括我
fields.
们的
For
中国
example, we have
电
four
中国电
major
信、华联通以及新成立的
industry
中国
players.
广电
For example, China
通信方
Mobile
面的运营商
China
参
Yulin
与的运营商，
and so on.
以及我们的医疗领域。医
And
疗
in the field
领域
of
包括我
medical
们的
care,
各个的医院，
this
我
includes
们的卫健委
hospitals
各
at
个
different levels and also the authority of medical
以
care,
及其他方面的
the health
一
and
些
hygiene
包
authority. And we have also involved a lot of institutes related to each industry. So now let's look at the middle layer of this mapping. So we have the new industry, the emerging industries or organizations. For example, the first organ is to functioning as to clarify the ownership of data. And secondly, we have the evaluation institutes. For example, the Shanghai Dongce Asset Evaluation Company, they are working to evaluate the data trading. So they need to decide the data to be traded are safe, which means not containing confidentiality information. And also we have consulting institutes, for example, Deloitte, KPMG, and PwC, and so on. So usually they can offer professional consulting, but also they lead professional data regarding each industry. And also we have institutions regarding law abiding. So this is usually more about law firms. And the fifth part, that's broker service providers. For example, the State Grid of Guangdong, and including all these e-commerce platforms, they are playing as the broker service providers. For example, our Alibaba platform, JD, and Tencent. And the second part, second category is service or technology providers. For example, Ant Group, Huawei, Tencent, Baidu, and JD, China Mobile. So usually they are big corporations who have leading technologies regarding data and data management. And also we have some professional service providers, for example, Basebit AI,
有一些专门的数据科技公司，包括我们的同泰科技啊、隆安教科等。隐私计算方面的一些应用，就包括我们的区块链啊，区块链主要是
So regarding privacy computing, it mainly consists of blockchain technologies. For example, we have a series of professional enterprises in this regard. And also we have AIGC related technologies, for example, Tencent and Baidu and ChatGPT.
AI 这方面技术很细，目前来说应该是发展最快的一个 AIGC 方面的一个企业啊，还包括我们的科大讯飞、讯飞新佛啊，以及华为的我们的盘古大模型啊，华为开发的盘古大模型 ，OpenAI 啊，这些都是做生成式人
We
工
have
智能
some
的。
huge players in this field as well, like the iFlyTech company from China, Baidu.
苹果啊，
And regarding the source universe technologies, we have the Meta, we have the iOS of Apple.
做元宇宙方面的，他们发布了一些 VR 眼镜啊。
So already they displayed the VR goggles.
Recording stopped.
蓝白长江哦，满河的云哦。
更适合圆梦。闲来一碗茶水，便可喝出重庆人的安逸。火锅底料里冒出的是热辣滚烫的人生，江湖菜里盛着平凡人的人间烟火，每一口都是对味蕾的极致挑逗。在这里，还有独属于山水之城的浪漫，在装满山城故事的巷子里，飘出了漫天星灯里。在解放碑伴随着新年钟声放飞的万千气球上，你在长天门无人机与灯光交织出绝美画卷中。这里是重庆，是道不尽的重庆。
女士们、先生们，我们的飞机已经抵达重庆。3000年江州府，800年重庆城，这座因江而兴、以山闻名的历史古城里，江水于此间纵横千里，上万座桥梁横跨于8万平方公里的土地上，串联成一道道独特的风景。来到重庆，城市开始折叠，道路凌空而去，肆意环绕，楼高万丈，直冲云霄，是来自于山城人对地势的不屈和向上的勇气。霓虹璀璨，这里有属于当代城市发展的脉动。江水奔腾，朝天门面朝东方，星河环绕，红顶云霞是当代人对历史的回望。轻轨自由穿梭于城市之中，翻山越岭，穿楼入云，它们承载着生活，也收藏着故事。乘坐长江索道，邂逅两岸风景，便将山城风光尽收眼底。去探访洪崖洞，追逐《千与千寻》里的世界。若寻一处屋顶，来一桌火锅，便是一群人的把酒言欢。当然，火热的城市也有属于其特有的安宁。远离城市，听雪落进云山，雪花漫天。这里有属于当地人的信仰，也可以去看看龙崖瀑布，疑是银河落9天。云瀑好似从仙境流向人间。重庆是文人雅士的钟情之地，是郭沫若印象里最值得留念的地方，是李白的“夜发清溪向三峡，思君不见，下渝州”，是山城、雾都、桥都，是8地魔幻之城。这就是重庆。
刚才我们讲到隐私计算图谱，包括最上层的是我们的政府端、数据交易所、金融方面、通信方面、医疗方面，
So we
以及
just
其他的
just
一些
now
行
we
业
talk
方面
about
的一些单位
the
然后生态方面包括我们的一些
players
税权机构
involved in
机
data
构、咨询机构
trading.
啊，产
For
品
example,
端的
the government
制造
agency
一些
and
企业
also
参与，还包括我们的一
enterprises.
些运营商
and a lot of
的话，主要是一些我们的信息安全企业，区块链企业、人工智能企业
technology providers and our telecom companies.
研究机构的话，包括我们的一些科研院所
So, for example, the
科研
research
院所
institute,
主要是我们科研院所
mainly about
为主
the
做一些
research
包括我们的标准
institutes
机构，我们的现
and
在
also
我
the
们中国自己的
organization
一
for
个标准机
standardizations.
构叫数据标准研究
So,
所，
for example, we
包
have
括
a
我
new
们之前的计码标委
institute
跟
for
标委，密码标准
CIACT
委员会跟信息安全标准委员会，现在
and
新
also
加入现在
hardware
新成立的数据安全
and manufacturers.
是我们的标准机构，设置技术标准的一些机构，还包括我们的硬件厂商，包括我们的
So
华为、
hardware
谷歌、
manufacturers, for
小
example,
华、
Huawei
飞腾、
and
戴尔斯，以及我们
HYGON,
的中芯国
ARM
际
and
和我们
Intel,
的
NVIDIA.
上海微电子这些硬件厂商，我们现在已经这方面在硬件方面，我们现在也已经进步非常大了。
So
还
we
包
have
括我们
made
的
a lot of
包
developments
括
in
数据
hardware
算
related to
数据
data
学会
business.
协会的一些相关的媒体。
And also we have related
下面我
media
们介绍一下，
metrics. So now
我们可以在数据要素、安全流通、富人数字经济、健康发展方面，我们可以去做一些什么？我们作为研究人员，最主要的
So
当然
what
是
we
去
can do regarding
在
the
技术方面去做
cryptology
一些
and source language study,
包括
and
今
from
天我讲的
computing
是
to
安全多方计算
machine learning, and from theoretic framework
安
to
全多方计
practice
算是一个是由我们
security
中国的
multi-party
叫
computing.
姚期智提出来
It
的。
was coined by a Chinese scientist, Mr.
它主
Yao
要是由什
Qizhi.
么问题
He was
出
a
发的呢？
he's a professor in Tsinghua University.
百万富翁问题指的是什么呢？
So this
要
term was
想要
coined
知
on the
道
basis of a
谁
problem
有
of
钱
billionaire questions. So two billionaires, they want to know who is richer
最多
without
的有
telling
多少钱，
the
想
other
让对方知
how
道。
much assets
所以呢，姚期智就提出了百
he
万
has.
富翁问题来
So
解
he
决
coined
安全多方计算来解
this
决这个百万富翁问题。
security multiple party computing measure
我
to
们要
tackle this
比
problem.
较甲和乙，要比较
So
谁更有
we
钱，
need to
对吧？
compare
最
party
终
A
我
and
们只
party
知
B
道
who is
甲
richer.
和乙都会知道
Eventually
比较结果，就是甲和
we
乙
only
都
know
会知道
the
谁更
final
有钱，
result,
但是
which
甲
means
不
who
知
is
道
richer.
乙有多少
But
钱，
party A
乙
doesn't
也不知道
know
甲
how much
有多
money
少
party
钱。
B owns, and the other way around is
所以它最
also
终要实
true.
现这样的一个
So this is
安全协议，我们把它叫
a
安全多
safety
方计算协
protocol
议，
that we
这
need
只
to
是一个两方
realize.
的安全计算协议。
So
两
this
方
is
的
a
安全计
protocol
算协议。
for
现
two
在发展
parties.
成了三方、四
Now
方、
we have
五方
three parties,
安全计
multiple
算协议。
parties, and secure
这
computing
是安全计算
protocol.
计算的由来，它的
So
来源。
this is
下面我们讲一下密码
how
学的
the
研究。安全多方计算协议
multi-party
是
computing
它的一个效率、
was involved.
安全性安全性跟效率，主要是聚焦提
So
升
its
协
point
议的
is
运行效率，
efficiency
通过同态
and
密
security.
因其
For
可持
example,
续
the
性和
HSS
优势
homomorphic secret sharing.
的另一种替代方案。
So it becomes an alternative
用的是同态
solution
大家知道，不管是安全多方
for
计算还是
FHE, the fully homomorphic
它们的
encryption.
效率都是非常低的。
So the efficiency of those protocol is rather
之
low,
前我们把安全
but the security level is very high.
同态密码、安全多方计算
So the
以及
FE
AROM I believe was random access
and some other technologies.
machine AROM 密码协议
For example, I
是
wrote
比较高的一个安全等级
cryptology
top level
computing,
所以呢，但是它的
for
效率这么
example,
低，为什么它的
but
效
the
率低呢？
efficiency is very
因为
low.
它是一个逐
Why
步
is has a lower
逐步加密，
efficiency?
就是一个比特一个比特进行加密。
So it's based on
它的效率
the
非
the
常
main
高。所以现在我们，但是
bits
它在我们随着我们的计
execution.
算机
So
技
with
术提高，
the
尤其是在
improvement of computing
存储场景上
machines,
它有的时
especially in
候
the scenario
会
of
有
cloud
用武之地
computing,
为什么
now
呢？
it
大家
has
知
a
道后面我们
better
讲的
involvement.
也是
So we will talk about the FHE with improvement of the basic infrastructure. So now it attracts more attention. So although at this stage it's not been commercialized, I believe in one day it will be, because its security level is very high. So in the scenario of clouding computing, so its high level of security is very important. So the second part is the second focus is security. For example, randomizable FSS, so it can anti the malicious attack. So we have assumption that, so usually not greater than 50% of the entities in a network. So if more than 50% of the players, they're plotting together and the launch attack, and in that case, the protocol will be breached. So, for example, in the multi-computation, so usually it's a practice that we don't allow more than 50% of the players involved in the attack. So, for example, if you can resist more than 50% of the players to launch the same attack, then your security level is rather high, but you will sacrifice the efficiency. So in building the cryptology protocol, we need to think about the balance between the efficiency and the security. How to balance the two, I believe. So I was involved in the study of securities since 2011. It has been over 13 years. So it depends more on the scenarios of application. For example, how to ensure the security of data. First, we need to have a grading system for data so that we can take different levels of protection regarding the data. So, for example, some data doesn't require high level of security, but others do need extra protection. So what kind of security technologies? It depends on the scenarios of data application. So this is about this aspect. So next aspect is from computing to machine learning. As we know, the multi-party computing. So a very hot concept in the AI is as we can compare that the likeliness of two objects is not the same thing as. So usually we only know the final results, but we don't know the data regarding each party. So that's the basic idea and understanding of multi-party computation. So about the federated learning. So the data for each entity, how to be protected. We cannot say that the protection was taken care by each party. For example, each hospital. So we have hospital A and hospital B, and they don't trust each other. They are not willing to share their data to other hospitals. So what we can do at this, so maybe we could use a federated learning strategy. So each hospital can train their own data. And they're not going to share this data. Or this can be called distributed computing. So federated learning can be called a federated distributed training pattern. It's not a centralized training. Centralized data training is more fitting for one entity. If more entities are involved, we use federated learning. And this is more beneficial for protecting the security of data. And other mechanisms are introduced in federated learning.
这是第二部分，它与人工智能学习的一个广泛的一个融合，利用混淆电路协议来对分布式客户端生成的数据进行扩展的一个深度学习分析。第二个是融合迁移学习，通过部署与数据无关的。
The first one is to use a Gabor circle to support the extended deep learning. And the second one is a migration study with the help of deployment of features unrelated to data. We can realize image classification without exposing private information about the image. And also we have the image mapping to realize the recommendation of personal data. So the third aspect is from theory to practice. We have more practical platforms mentioned or introduced. For example, Secker. So this is an open source framework based on the multi-computing technology. It has been related to biology information. For example, already we have used it in the genome-wide association studies. Another example is Squirrel, that the Morgan Chase used the framework based on multi-party computing. Well, it's not open sourced. They can carry out GBDT training based on the data.
只有做到这个问题，只有去
So this is about privacy and in data. So how do we achieve the privacy protecting? So only that we can ensure the privacy, that we can take our data business more into the business level. So the second learning is federated learning. Currently, apart from the mainstream machine learning and the training models, it focuses more on security and privacy protection technologies. Untrusted federated learning has become a major trend in the future. The federated learning, large model technology, and IPR, intelligence protection rights model, and pricing model. In this field, we have been exploring its application. So our current practice is based on the open source framework from the internet to train our data sets. But usually this model, mostly they're open-ended. But I believe in the future, the trend is that those modules will not be fully opened because of intellectual property protection requirements. So in the future, if you build up a large model, so how do you exercise protection? So a common problem in this field is that, so for example, they use training data sets to use engineering skills to map out your data sets and figure out your vulnerabilities in your network. And this is a common attack method. One of the practice that I can come up with in this regard is that, so in application, so we regarded this, we have the focus about fearless. It refers to avoid the impact brought by the model differences bias. So the provision for the dataset is on the rise, and many teams has begun the exploring of the fairness of the protocol and try to use many indicators to ensure that all the contributions of each entity in this network can be reconciled and balanced, and so they lead consistent incentives. So these incentives, how to design the incentives so that the user data can be protected. Can also the industry players, how can they be willing to share their data? There are two nuclear problems concerning the users. The first one is the privacy and the security of the personal data. Are they ensured? And after the data has been shared, so they want something from the sharing of data. Then we have the incentives. How do we design the incentives? So we know in the blockchain, we have very good incentives. That is mining in blockchain. So the person who successfully solve the problem of Hashi function, they will be rewarded with a Bitcoin. So that's a practice from a blockchain. So that's how they design the incentives. So in the supply of data regarding improving the level of data supplying, we find that the problem is more complicated even. What kind of incentives we have in data and privacy protection? This is a problem worthy our thinking. And the second one is security. In addition to traditional privacy considerations, federated learning as a distributed system is also vulnerable to malicious attacks, such as, first, obtaining private data by reverse reasoning through intermediate parameters in the data training process, and second, interfering with federated learning process through data poisoning, resulting in model training failure. So usually we have a typical attack modes, for example, data poisoning, which will usually result in the model training failure.
还包括我们的模型萃取攻击，也是联邦学习当中经常遇到的问题。
And these are the common problems facing the field of federated learning.
一旦模型通过用数据集逆向攻击模型、盗取模型以后，其实是非常严重的问题。
So reverse reasoning method to steal data is a major challenge. So usually to build a large model, it takes a lot of time and energy. So this is a major security problem. So while we put forward the protection regarding big data and IP protection, and regarding large model, the federated training, fine-tuning and deployment of large models are realized through distributed computing power and data. In order to adapt to computing power and data and realize effective training of large models under resource-constrained conditions through the effective linkage of large and small models. So we have lots of training scenarios, including unlimited or limited training scenarios in the local condition, and also high efficient training scenarios. We know lots of enterprises, when they build up large models, they are not suitable for local training. Usually, they are trained on high performance computer machines. So in the future, the large models, the trend is that which means they can be trained at our intelligent terminals and to train the data on small-scaled
Recording in progress.
So the efficiency of such large models, they need to be at a high level. With a better efficiency at the large model, so that it's possible to train the data on smaller scale terminals. And the next one is a new model. Based on the decentralized federated learning process, existing AI models and learning measures can be federated and privacy enhanced, such as federated graph learning, federated enhanced learning, federated meta-learning, and so on. And at the same time, for the implementation of application scenarios such as Internet of Things application, with increasing number of users and content, incremental federated learning has become the basis of supporting related services and applications. So next we're going to talk about trusted execution environment, TEE. We need a sandbox to separate the potential risks from the data sets. We call this TEE. As we can see, the development history of this technology. So in 2002, ARM proposed a concept called trust-do technology. And then in 2015, released by the Intel, the SGX V1 hardware. So it has become a very popular research topic. How do they do it? So they build up a secure sandbox in our CPU. In 2016, AMD has released the SEV hardware. in 2019, and AWS released Literal Hypervisor.
的开源的一个规范，到2021年发布了
So
CCA 规范。
to 2021,
我们现在
and also we have the SGX
越
hardware.
来越多的业务都是上云端啊。
So with the further development of the big data, a lot of business has been moved to the cloud.
基础设施默认的要求，而不再是一个特性。所以呢，我们大家知道
So this
需要
becomes a mainstream for the industry.
安全网络传输、机密计
So
算、
we all
实现
use a lot of
敏感数据、全生命周期的保护。
related technology
机密计算是
and
当今业界
precision
正在普及
computing.
的环节。主流的硬件平台
And precision computing is a hotspot currently in the industry.
对机密计算的支持。目前主要的云厂
So
商
currently the cloud service providers, the major ones,
如下
the platforms for precision computing,
升级支持当中，其中
they are undergoing a lot of major updating relating to this technology.
2023年我们看到谷歌拥抱
In
了 AMD
2023, Google has embraced AMD, this new technology,
还在2023年率先推出了对
and
GPU
they first released
的支持。阿里云也拥抱了新产品，支持了
new products that support GPU,
TDX 来保护
TTX
大模型的
to
一个
protect
解决方
the
案。
large model, and also supporting
大
their
家看到
services.
下面这一个名单是各个企业，包括
So
AWS
as you can see here,
阿里巴巴
we have a company list for
和谷歌云
including
做的
AWS,
一
Azure,
些
Alibaba Cloud,
硬件产品，
and Google Cloud, and the hardware products and
里面有
solutions.
机密虚拟机 GPU、机密虚拟机以及机密
They
容
have
器、
a
机密数据
GPU
库。
focusing
机
on
密机器学习
the
平台的
cryptology solutions and platforms.
下面一个隐私计算技术叫差分隐私计算技术啊。差分隐私是为了解决传统隐私保护的两个关键问题。首先，在最大背景之私的假设之下，差分隐私保护无需考虑
Differentiation privacy,
所拥有的任何可能的背景知识。
so it will not
其次，
consider any
差
of
分
the
隐私
background
对
information
隐私
of
保护
the
进行了
users.
严格的定义，并提供
So
了
it
量
has a
化
very
保护方法，
strict
使
definition
得不同
and
参
put
与
forward
环境下的数据
quantitative
集所
training
提供的隐私保护水
measures
平具有可比较性。因此呢，
so
差分隐私
to
理
ensure
论
that
迅速
the
被业界
the result of the
并逐渐成为
training
隐私保护
can be
领域的一个
compared
研
and
究课题。
contrasted. So this becomes a hot spot in research.
差分隐私计算技术包括下面
So the
5种。
technology,
第一个叫
including
中心化
the
的差分隐私。中心化差分隐私研究已较为广泛，
items.
传统主要集中在统计分析和机器
So the
学
main
习，
focus
或者
is
叫
about
深
the
度学习
statistics
大模型
or
的训练
deep
实践当
learning
中。但最近有
training
进展，
scenarios.
已经开
The
始尝
current
试将差分隐私
research trend
引入
has
到
become to use
智能语言处理、
differentiated
生成式
privacy
生成式
in their
语言处理技
generative
术、
AI
视频数量分析的复杂应用
and
场景当中。
complicated scenarios
本
like
地化差分隐私
videos
本地化差分隐私
analysis
适用于大规模
and
环境
local
受
differentiation
到业界的
privacy.
广泛应用。
So because
当前
it
研究
is
进
more
展
suitable
主要
for
集中
large
在
scale
实现更多
deployment
复杂场景
is
的数
receives
据
a lot
分
of
析、
attention
算法
from the
分析。
industry.
一方面，针对
So for
普通
example,
查
in
询
one
场景
side,
主要集中在对
regarding to
高
the
流式图数群
statistic
等统计分析场景
scenarios,
算法的优化。另一
so
方面，
its
针对机器学习与深度学习
its
场景，主
utilization
要集中在
in
与深度学习、联邦学习
the
的结合。
data, especially the
近来
graphic
也开始
data.
实现与大语言
Another
模型结
in
合，
another
实现
aspect
大语言模型预
is more
训练
focused on the
与
deep
推理
learning,
过程
federated
的
learning, and combine them to work with the large scale language models to
第三
realize
部分是
the
分布式的差
privacy
分隐私。
protection during the process of
中
training.
心化的差分隐私 对可信假设
So
要求较
next
高。
part is distributed differentiated privacy.
本地化差分隐私对可信要求假设
So for
较
those trusted
但相比中心化差分隐
requirements
私的分析效用较低。
and
人不
compare
知差分隐
with
私通过结合
compare with
我们的
localized
密码基础的安全系统
differentiated
的辅助，可以实
privacy,
现分布式差分隐私，
the
可以实现隐私保护的
distributed
同时能够获得
method
接近
it
中心
has
化差分
less
隐私的一个
requirements
效
for
应。
the
第四种叫混洗
assumption.
差分隐私。混洗差分隐私通过第三方的消息混洗节点，实现本地差分隐私消息收集过程的匿名性，通过增大隐私安全特性来降低所需的噪声，从而提升数据效用性，也受到当前理论研究的关注。
And
作
the
为
next one is
分布式差分
the
隐私的一种变体，
shuffling
近来
differentiated privacy. Shuffle differential privacy achieves anonymity in the local
也被广泛应用到
differential
联邦计算
privacy
方式当中。
message collocation process through third-party message shuffling nodes and reduces the required noise by security features, thereby improving data utility. It has also received the authentication from the current theoretical research. And last one is a privacy amplification theory.
隐私放大，差分隐私里面都是通常用的一个方法，都是在数据里面加入噪声，
So
来实
usually
现
they
我
will
们的
add
差分隐私
noise
保护。
in the data to realize the purpose of privacy realizing.
下面我们讲同态加密计算技术。同态加密计算技术在近年来非常火，为什么呢？因为它有一个非常好的应用场景，就是在云存储应用场景。同态加密计算，它可以对密文进行计算的对密文计算等价于对明文计算。什么意
So
思
next
呢？
part
我们
is
把数据加密以后存储在云端里
homomorphic encryption.
对密文处理的效果跟
It has
把
a
明文数
better
据存储在
result.
客户端处理的效果是等价的。所以同态加密在近年来
So in recent years, this technology is well received in the market.
的效率非常低啊，因为它是一个主比特加密的。同态加密主要包含理论优化、应用探索和行业落地三个部分。理论优化包含小规模的格密码、重现性技术、代数密码构造、快速自举、矩阵旋转这些技术。功能增强包括我们的密态结果的可验证、高效的密态搜索，也就是我们的密文检索，以及我们的误差权衡控制、多方计算的支持、多协议密文转化、密态算子的一个轻量级。第三部
So
分是我们
regarding
的
the
性能优化。
application innovation, it has lateral networks, federated learning, secure multi-party computing, private set intersection, hidden query, and threshold signature, and ciphertext database, collaborated filtering, and so on. Regarding hardware-assisted computing, we have the ASIC, FPGA, GPU, and CPU.
包含我们的神经网络学习、联邦学习、安全多方计算方面。还包括我们的隐私集合求交、隐匿查询、文献签名、密文数据库、协同过滤等方面。硬件辅助计算包括我们的
hardware computing.
GPU,
So we have the SIC, CPU, GPU, and computing. And also, this can reduce the costs and realize a more efficient automation. And the third part is industry landing. So we have the cross-border data flow and natural language large model privacy inference and the ship privacy maintenance inspection. So regarding cross-border data flow, we also mentioned earlier, because a lot of data has something to do with personal privacy, even the national security. So when the data leaves a cross-border flow, they will undergo two processes. First one is to the identification of the data. So macro federated learning. It has a lot of stake of the data involving the privacy. So how do we ensure the data can be safe during the whole process?
我们讲完上述的隐私计算技术，接下来我们讲一下。
After these privacy computing technologies,
我们可以为数据要素的安全流通、富人数字经济
what we can do to contribute to the technology compliance challenges?
等待着我们去解决呢？
What kind of issues need to be further dealt with? First one is the data compliance of the data sets.
我们刚才讲到人工智能
dirty data sets or poisoning data. So we have an attack measure called poisoning.
或者是毒数据会
It
带来数
means
据
that
中毒的风
those
险。
data and poisoned
训
data,
练以后，它的计算
it
的
will
结果能
be
不准确，
crippling
甚至可能会
the
泄露其
the
他
model
数据
and
的信息。
also even
此外，数据来
cause
源
the risk of leaking the legitimate
在隐私计
data.
算后期使用当中，会面临一个侵权的责任。
So we'll face a lot of legal responsibilities or stake in the future if our data has been attacked.
所有权的归属，如果不解决，就会面临到一个侵权责任。
So if we fail to make it proper, then we are facing a lot of legal
这是我们第一个问
responsibilities.
题，叫数据源的合规性问题。第二个问题叫
So that's
隐私
a
计算。
first pact we can get involved. And the second one is privacy computing.
以及匿名化的信息可以不受相关法律法规的约束。由于技术操作过程的各个节点以及个人信息的存储，
Is privacy computing equivalent to anonymization?
无法反推。
Anonymized information is not subject to the constraint of the relevant laws and regulations, since it is difficult to completely make each
要根据相关法
node
规
of the technical operation process and the storage and transmission process of personal information impossible to reverse or leak.
应当遵循合法、正当、
And
必
the
要
privacy
和诚
computing
信的原则。
cannot guarantee complete or absolute anonymity.
可能必要性
Privacy computing needs to undergo technical compliance review in accordance with relevant laws and regulations.
授权问题，隐私计算它可能会涉及到诸多主体参与
Mr.
方
Gary, sit down at the
模
back.
型的建
Sit down. Sit down at the
及模型的测试等环节，其中知识产权的归属、授权使用的范围、授权链的
So the
完整性、
authorization of the data use.
权利义务的
for
分
your
配，
call. You still telling me even tomorrow, eh? So
必
if
须
I'm
要
not
仔细
coming,
分析。
waiting for you. That's why you see. When someone drop a key already, so we should tell her tomorrow.
第五个问题是隐私计算的安全性和
I'm
效率
waiting for you to call me that you are ready. Come.
通过基因密码学的技术路线开发了相关产品，实际使用当中的安全性难以验证。当前隐私计算技术处理的数据规模并不是很大，部分产品计算效率尚未符合实
So
际使
some
用
of
的需
the
求。
computing performance of some of the
继续
products
完善。
is not very ideal.
第六个问题是数据的快
And
递
the
服务
sixth
问题。
issue is about the
数据的快递
cross-border
服务
flow
问题是
of
需
the
要在
data.
世界
So
所有
this
国家
requires the
也是
joint
合作
efforts
共
made
同国
by
间命运共同
all
体
the members of the community, international
必
community.
摆在我们面前的一个问题。参与数据跨境流动的国家
So
需要
all
基于
the
数据
countries
快
involved
递
in the
相关协
process
议，
of
包
cross-border
括数
data
据快
flow,
递
they need
传
to
输
sign
路
up
径
the
的
contract,
规则标准，
including
约
the
束一些企
standards
业规
and
则
the pathways
数据隐
of
私保
the
护规则
data
进行合法的进行数据跨境
crossing.
流动，不仅仅基于某一个国家或某
So
一个
it's
地
not
区
up
数据
to
快递
one
相关法律规
country
则，
or one
而是需
region
要我们
to
共同
formulate
协商出来，
standards. We need
各个国家
jointly
共同遵守的
consulting
一些法
to
律法规
make
来共
formulations
同
and
约束
laws
解决我
to
们的数据快递流动。
bind all
隐
the
私计算
parties
技术的发展和
concerned.
产品的推广，需要同时研判各个国家的数据管理法
So
规
we
以
need
及法
to
律环境
consider
和相
all
关数
the
据隐私框架
regulations
要求，
and laws
针
regarding
对
the
性的去
data
建立隐私计
from
算技术
different
和
countries
产品
and
认证
to
体系，
build up
确保相
a
关节目和
system
产
of
品符合
product
数据跨境流动
accreditation
合
and to
规的
ensure the flow is in compliance with relevant laws and regulations.
今天我的汇报和分享就到此啊，感
That's
谢
my
各位同学
report
的
and
评论和指
sharing
正。
for today.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gong. And to all of our attendees, we feel very sorry today that we forgot to translate our slides and didn't set English interpretation in advance. Really sorry for this, but tomorrow is our last day of our training. We will make better preparations in advance, and we will also invite some students and the teachers to speak in the close ceremony. So hope you can all join the training tomorrow. And now, if you have any questions upon today's training content, you can raise your question. You can type it in the chatting room or just open your microphone. So I didn't get any messages so far. That's all of our today's training. And thanks to Mr. Gong. So waiting to see you tomorrow. 感谢您。For the training certificates, we will collect your information by a link in the WhatsApp group, and anyone who want to get the certificates can fill in the form, the registration form, and we will make the certificates and send it to you via email or through a website. More information about the certificates will be shared tomorrow. Okay. 好的，龚老师，今天同学们好像就目前大家没有提出什么问题，谢谢您今天辛苦啦。后面的话咱们就是有什么问题我再跟您同步，然后今天就是这样了。
好的好的，辛苦了。
好嘞，
王老师，
好，拜拜拜拜。
王老师，拜拜，王老师。
day.